Guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend, hallo, ihr kleinen Übermenschen und Untermenschen, ihr Schnitzelschneider. Guten Tag, Herr Germain, le chef for Cougar Report. Ich muss to tell you this, you're not gonna like some of this, what I'm gonna say now, but it's a Cougar Report. It's a Cougar Report, and before I start the Cougar Report, I want you to listen to this gentleman called Leonard Caldwell, a medical doctor talking about his own people. His own people he's talking about. Listen to this. Listen to this.
It's a protein that transports cholesterol. So they are too stupid to even narrow it down the right way.
Okay.
So if you look at the facts and if you look what they know and what they don't know, you know that Dr. Gary Null stated it, and a lot of other people. The medical profession, the medical doctor statistically has the shortest lifespan of 56 years of age, the highest abuse rate of alcohol and drugs, the highest suicide rate, only the psychiatrist is higher. And so you go to somebody that has the lowest lifespan, highest suicide rate, highest drug abuse rate, to ask them how to have a healthy, happy, long life.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is the Cougar Report exposing the irrational inside the rational. Now this Dr. Leonard Caldwell has a YouTube presence and he talks muchly about cancer and other diseases, and he is exposing the fact that the people we go to for help themselves are really sick. Now you remember I was talking about chelation and my wife took chelation, and the doctors have, the medical community has trashed chelation as being stupid, doesn't work, ist verrückt, Mensch, Leute, vergesst die Chelation-Sache. And in the room, when my wife was having chelation done, 30 people, 20 out of those 30, she counted, she was talking to these people. They were doctors not listening to their own advice, which is smart. Don't listen to the doctors because you're probably going to live. Now, the reason I make this little comment here, Cougar Report, you're not going to like this. And I listen to Cliff High because I am a curious person. Because, you know, when you're in the world, in the universe, this curiosity makes me look at people that say interesting things. And the interesting things, the ones that make sense, I use. The ones that don't make sense, I don't use. Now, I have to give Cliff High, and I don't want to disparage this person, but again, something has come back. He has a Dojo, Wujo, Mojo thing going, and he talks about rushing to the hospital with his wife, and health is a problem and something, and I say, if you rush to the hospital with your loved one, you're missing the boat somewhere along the line here. Yes, if you break your arm and they gotta stick it back on or something, I guess that's very good, but in the overall scheme of things, you have to rush to the hospital, and I may regret saying this because if I have a traumatic problem, yes, I seek out the help of a professional who can sew things on. But in the big scheme of things, to actually rely on medicine the way we understand is totally irrational. What this doctor just said. The suicide rate, the death rate, the longevity among doctors is like this 57 years old, and psychiatrist is the only other profession that has a higher suicide rates than medical doctors. This is outrageous. People, yeah, I'm telling you, this is why I make my chelation comment. I make the alternate perspective, and then when I listen to smart people, like somebody like Cliff High, who I like, but then this is something important. You gotta be aware that the only thing that keeps you truly alive is your own personal rationality. You must bring forth this common sense, and when even smart people say things, you gotta weigh that. You got away. Even smart people are stupid. And I say Cliff High is a smart person. But then he just totally ignores the fact he has very deep breaths on his mojo talk, and there is this feeling of shortness of breath. He should take a few singing lessons from my Maria. She's good at making breath in the body and oxygenating the body with the breath so you can function properly and to be healthy. So people that are not healthy and giving advice to you, I guess if they talk about screwing on bolts on a car wheel, it's okay. But if you're talking about something that is good for me as a person in this physical dimension, you cannot say and ignore the fact that you know nothing about health and try to give me advice. It's like, forget about it. It doesn't work. This is irrational. It's totally irrational. So check out this Dr. Leonard Caldwell talking about cancer and cures for cancer. Some of it makes sense to me. He makes a lot of sense. Anyway, he exposed something. I had to say it, and I love Cliff High, but even smart people have problems with their myopia. They don't see themselves. They always tell people, always somebody else, listen to me, I tell you wisdom, I tell you wisdom. They throw shit at us. Forget about it. Talk about yourself and improve yourself, and the way you show me you improve yourself is that you're healthy. Number one, you're healthy, you're a healthy human being. This is the most important part. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Ach du lieber, ach du lieber. Ach du lieber, Entschuldigung, excuse me please, Entschuldigung. I was talking about Cliff High, and he made the Mojo report. Just now I listened to it, and just listen to this, what he has to say, which is what I'm talking about. Listen to this.
I have Kathy's health. She's doing very much better, very encouraged. We're seeing real progress in a very short period of time. It is my conclusion that the heart problem she suffered was directly related to the psychiatric chemicals that she'd been taking and its effect on the body. A lot of these things have, just as an aside, a lot of these psychiatric chemicals I've done some serious research into, and they do weird things. They, for instance, work through the fat cells or the GABA part of the brain, or they deal with the adrenal hormones and this kind of thing. So they all have some level of side effect. It's well known. And in fact, most of these drugs you have to live through the side effects to see any kind of benefit. So I don't really classify them as a drug. They're a condition-causing chemical. You could get the same effect if you were exposed to these chemicals in the sense of air.
Okay, he's going to go on and excuse himself for actually having connected into this system of poison called drugs and all this. His wife is some sort of psychotropic. I said this in the previous report. This is very disturbing to me. Now people listen to me. Okay. This has got now, okay, Cliff High aside, that has nothing to do with Cliff High in the general scheme of things. I'm all what I say, this is really scary to me. Because if you don't have the common sense, the rationality, you explain the meaning of the universe in terms of the helical science of the earth following the sun, and you can't even take care of yourself. Now, I'm not being critical here. Please, people, I'm not being critical. I'm being common sense. The rationality of this. This makes no sense. The fact that he has commented on having the reptiles, he is actually criticizing. He is using their fucking drugs and giving it to survive. This is stupid. Have you ever seen Jim English upset? Well, this is very upsetting. I am pissed off. This doesn't work. Do not tell me shit if you actually crawl into the reptile's anus because you're taking the reptile's shit You have to find another way. And I'm not going to give you advice. I have my own ideas about how to solve this psychotropic shit and all that problem. Yeah, but I'm not going to, that's a whole other thing. I'm going to maybe talk about people. Leute, ich kann das nicht verstehen. This Cliff High shit. Anyway, this is an addendum. I did this thing, then I listened to the Mo Wujo report, and he says this stuff. And he thinks it's perfectly normal to let his wife take psychotropic drugs to counteract something, and then all the side effects. Of course there are side effects. It doesn't work otherwise. There's always side effects. Chemicals in your body, and you tell me you understand something. Now, this is gonna be another Kugu report. And the idea of I lost my train of thought. This is because I'm 60 years old and the train of thought went like this, because the only real thinking I do is when I paint. You see what I do in the back? This is when the real thinking happens, and me trying to make words and keep things together in the brain. Yeah, sometimes that goes out the window. Anyway, yeah, I'm saying, please, the Cliff High syndrome. Somebody who is so intelligent and uses his curiosity to discover things, are they still valuable? You know, for the me, Herr Germanglish, the value just went down that far. That's the truth.